and welcome to my 6-string journey. In this video we're going to be looking at my last lesson, and it's going to be Heroes, and we're going to be looking at the strumming pattern, and I'm going to be back with that in just a moment. Hi, I'm Cypher, and on this channel I'm documenting all of my guitar lessons, my highs, my lows, what I find easy, what I find difficult, all of my gear, basically everything to do with playing this guitar. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you very much for continuing to support the channel. And please also remember to hit the bell button for notifications of future videos, and if you like this one, please hit the like button. It's very much appreciated. So this is a review of my lesson 19, which was undertaken on the 29th of April 2020. We're roughly 76 hours in and 291 days, so the days are really flying by now. Now, to start off with in the lesson, we first of all started looking at the REM Everybody Hurts little sequence, which went really well. Now, as soon as I turn the camera on, it's going to go wrong, but it went really well on the day. But that sequence is... So, not perfect, but certainly getting there with that particular sequence, and both Michael and I were really pleased with that. But we are going to leave that sequence alone for now, because I want to come back to it and continue with Everybody Hurts, because it's a nice track. But for the moment I want to persevere with Heroes, because of the chord changes that we're getting into and the strumming patterns, and I really want to get on with that song. So the next thing that we did is we just had a look at the chords and how I'm getting on with the chords. So we've got our D chord, which is pretty clean, coming up to the G chord, which is okay. Then we've got the difficult C chord that I'm working on. Again, not too bad on that one. And then we've got our A minor and our E minor. So when I went through all those chords, Michael was pretty pleased, as was I, and I'm now going to work on the chord changes and the strumming. Now, before we get into that, one of the things that Michael did tell me that was really useful is with regards to the E minor chord. I've been playing that with my middle finger on my ring finger, basically because when I'm playing the A minor, all I need to do is move my fingers up and then strum, and I found that very easy. But then when you're moving back to the D chord, you've actually got to take all of your fingers off and completely reset. Now, one of the things that Michael told me is if I was to slide my middle finger down the fret slightly, I can then bring my first finger over the top to do the E chord, and then moving that to the D chord, all I've got to do is to move my fingers down, put the ring finger on, and then I've got my D chord. So in this particular instance, that particular fingering where I'm bringing my first finger over to play the E minor is beneficial, and it's another example of where playing the same chord but using different fingers in different situations works. So I'm not quite sure which of the two fingerings I'm going to be using. I'm going to experiment with those over the next few days. So anyway, that all went very well, so we decided that we would have a look at the strumming pattern for this particular song. And the strumming pattern is quite complicated, and when I'm working on a new strumming pattern, I tend to call out the strums that I'm playing, and I don't say the strums that I'm not playing. So in this particular situation, it is 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and. Now really interestingly, this is a strumming pattern that I've been using to practice, unbeknown that this was a strumming pattern for this particular song. So whereas a lot of people have issues with strumming and they find chords easy, I'm the other way around. I'm finding the chords difficult and the strumming easy. And this tends to be the way that it is with the guitar, and something I've had to get my head around is some people are just plain good at it, some people just struggle with everything, some people struggle with one thing and not another, whereas other people will struggle with that thing and not the other. So I'm sitting in the middle ground, which actually makes me feel a little bit better and has also lifted my confidence a little bit. So that strumming pattern. Pretty easy. I think I've nailed that one, which is good. But what I've now got to practice more and more is moving from between the chords. So we're starting off with the D chord. We play that twice through. Then we've got to move across to our G chord. Then back to the D. Back to the G. And then obviously, as per when I did the last lesson review, we have to go through that multiple times. So that's basically what I'm going to be practicing. I'm going to be working on that, and I've been working on it for a couple of days. So moving from the D to the G. Isn't great, but it's certainly better than moving from the G chord to the C chord and then back to the D chord. And then once we've got that nailed, we then need to go across for the A minor. To the E minor, which I can't do when I'm talking, but that one I've pretty got nailed, that change. Although in the song you only actually play one bar, not two, as I just did there. So that one's not too bad. And then moving from the E minor down to the D, that's a bit of a reset as well. And then we're back to the C, G and the D to finish off. So strumming pattern I've pretty much got nailed down. That's pretty good. But I'm certainly going to have to work on the chord changes, and that's going to be the main emphasis over the next couple of weeks. So what I will do is I will update the music and the tab sheet for this particular lesson, and I'll upload that to Google. So that will have the individual notes and the strumming pattern with the rest, so that if you are following along you can download that and you'll be able to see exactly as how it's written in the music form. And I hope that you get on well with the strumming pattern, that you find it as easy as I'm finding it, but hopefully you'll be finding the chord changes easier than I am. Anyway, that's it for this lesson. I'll see you on the next one very soon. Take care. Bye bye. As you can see, a lot of work to do. Catch you later. Bye to bye.